Oh man, if this holds, I'm telling you guys right now, when we break this high on Canton, I have a firm belief that we're going to see a nice squeeze up into these highs. It'd be nice if we hit this dark pool at the 27 cent range. That'd be dope. So, rolling over real fast into the crypto updates, I just wanted to give a brief update on the total crypto. Actually, you know what? We'll skip the total cryptocurrency market cap. We'll just take a quick look at XRP, Canton Coin. Nothing too substantial from yesterday's update, right? We're still hovering around this 15237 institutional dark pool. Yesterday, I had really focused on how many times sellers have defended at this level. So it's a very important threshold that we need to see buyers turn into support if we want to see any higher prices on Canton. I feel like at this level, price is just getting so fractal, but nonetheless, right, we're just now starting to see buyers make an attempt to poke above this. One thing I am noticing is that we're still above the triple EMAs, which is for now relatively supportive of this overall continuation to possibly go higher. So right now, just kind of what I'm being mindful of is that most likely there is a aggressive seller that is sitting here in these areas that was able to shift this momentum. And now they're passively trapping any buyers that come back up into this area to try to make an attempt. I know that that's pretty sloppy to make an attempt to supersede their volume in the market. And they're defending at these highs. So, with that in mind, if we want to see an aggressive move on Canton, we need to break roughly around the 16.5 cent range. We need to see buyers not only turn the dark pool at the 15237 into a support. I'm on my Microsoft computer and I hate how fast my mouse is because it's a gaming mouse. We need to turn the 15237 into support, or we need to see the triple moving average continue to act as support. And then we need to see a break and a hold above the 16.5 cent region. And if we can see that, then I'm going to go outright and assume that buyers are likely to have enough strength to make an attempt at the 17.5 cent high. That would then push us up into the 18,194 sell dark pool, right? I know that that was a little sloppy. I apologize, but you catch my drift, right? If at any point in time we break below the 15,237, we can see that for now, buyers have continued to make an attempt to push price back up into the 15,237 to regain it. So as long as we are above the EMA on Canton on the 8 hour and above, I'm still going to hold and maintain onto my bullish bias that we're likely to continue to see a sell squeeze above these over leveraged traders that have constantly taken positions at these highs trying to short Canton. And we're likely to see a nice squeeze up into the highs at the 18,194. If at any point in time we break below the 15,237 and at the same time start to create bearish price action below the triple moving average and we see a TMA crossover on the 8 hour and above, that is when I will start to look at Canton as a concern that we could possibly go lower. I mean, I personally won't view that as something to be concerned about because I'll be taking advantage of discounted prices. But if we want to see lower prices, we need to first see a break bearish below the 15,237. We need to engulf all of this bullish price action. We need to see sellers overpower buyers, break below the triple moving average, see the triple moving average crossover, and then see the TMA act as a resistance. And if we can see that, then that's likely going to confirm a deep retracement down into the first institutional buy dark pool at the 11,356. After the 11,356, if sentiment were to continue to worsen, we still have the 0999, the 08237, and the 0655 on our radar as lower level targets. But for now, we have a lot of work to do by sellers if we want to see a full-on reversal on Canton's price. We not only need to turn the 15,237 into a resistance, but we also need to see this area of interest engulfed by sellers. And then we also need to see the triple moving average turn into a resistance instead of it currently acting as a support. So for now, I'm more skewed in favor to the upside on Canton, but I'm not getting overly optimistic unless we turn that 16.5 cent aggressive seller that is passively defending at these highs into a support. If we can see that, then I will get optimistic that we're likely going to see a sell squeeze up into higher prices. I will definitely be looking to shave off. I personally have about Canton tokens, so I'll probably be looking to shave off at least like 20, maybe 20,000 at 18 cents if we can see some sellers start to overpower buyers. And if not, and we continue to go through, same thing, I'll monitor price at the 21 cent range, probably shave 20,000 Canton tokens off at that level. I'm not just going to just start taking profit as soon as we hit those levels. I'm going to monitor how sellers react at those areas of interest. Same thing at the 24 cent and then same thing at the 27 cent range. I'm not just going to sell because the sell dark pool was hit. I'm going to wait to see how buyers and sellers transact volume at those levels. All right. So I'll try to let you guys know. Obviously, of course, we'll have updates in between them, but those are the upper boundaries and lower boundaries on Canton. The only update that we did have from the last update was the 12, I believe it was, I don't know, 12.8 something. Dark pool is now changed to 11.356. That's the only update that we had. All right. So let's see how this pans out over the next couple of days. Real quick, taking a look at XRP's price for anybody that does care. We're still holding the $1.84 range as support. One thing I am noticing though is that on the 8-hour time frame, we are trading below the triple moving averages. I'm going to go outright and assume that where we had this triple moving average without utilizing the software tools that we have with the order flow, there's most likely an aggressive seller that sits here at these areas. Buyers tried to make an attempt to push back above those sellers. They passively trapped the buyers here at this area. So if we want to see any higher prices on XRP, we, just like on Canton, if we want to see lower prices, if we want to see higher prices on XRP, we need to see buyers turn the currently acting as a resistance EMAs into a support. That's step one. Then we need to see them continue to trap sellers. And we need to see them turn this previous aggressive seller acting as a passive seller, trapping buyers and pushing price back to the downside. We need to see them turn that into a support. And that comes in at roughly around $2 to $2.05. And if we can do that, then that'll open the door for a full-blown recovery on XRP's price to possibly higher levels, coming in at the first sell dark pool at $2.27. Anything above $2.27, we have 236, 256 on our radar to the upside as our most immediate targets. Downside targets still remain intact on XRP, especially if sentiment worsens or if the $1.84 threshold breaks to the downside. We have $1.69 and $1.39 as our most immediate targets on XRP for possible DCA levels. Below those levels, $1.27 and 98 cents are on our radar. Personally, if we were to come down into 98 cents, that would be, realistically speaking, the only level for me on XRP for my long-term positions where XRP is actually discounted compared to where I've bought the vast majority of my XRP, which has been sub 27 cents. So I will definitely be looking to dollar cost average into XRP if that level were to ever come into fruition. But for now, price is still holding support at the $1.84 range, so we'll play it by ear. You now know what level we need to break above on XRP. You know what levels to be mindful of on Canton. Let's continue to monitor these things as tomorrow we have Jerome Powell's speech, his forward guidance to be paying attention to, which I'll update you guys on in the chat as his commentary comes out.